Have you ever felt like you're stuck on a financial treadmill? You're working harder and harder, but you're not actually getting any closer to your goals? Well, today we are going to dive deep into a really big idea: why your salary, no matter how much you make, might not be the thing that builds you real, lasting wealth. And you know what? Let's just rip the band-aid off right away. This is the hard truth. The source material is crystal clear on this point. Your salary is important, sure, but it will not make you rich all by itself. If you've ever felt like you're just treading water with your finances, well, this is probably the reason why. So, let's get into what we can call the salary illusion. This is that super common belief that a bigger paycheck automatically means you're getting wealthier. But as we're about to see, that's often not how it works at all. I'm betting this sounds really familiar to a lot of you out there. You're doing everything you're supposed to, right? You're working your tail off, you're climbing that corporate ladder, your income is going up. But that feeling of making real financial progress, it just isn't there. Trust me, you are not alone in feeling this way. So why does this happen? Is it something you're doing wrong? Nope. It's because of 5 kinda hidden financial traps that are baked right into the salary system itself. So let's pull back the curtain and expose them one by one.
Okay, first up is the biggest trap of all, the salary trap itself. A salary is a direct trade. It's a simple, brutal equation. Your time for their money. The second you stop working, guess what? The money stops coming in. This puts an immediate ceiling on how much you can earn because there are only so many hours in a day.
And wow, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, that's us, the salary model. You work, you get paid. On the right, that's the wealth model. You see, the wealthy don't just work for money. They build systems, things like businesses, investments, assets that make money for them, even when they're sleeping. That's the game changer.
Now for trap number 2, and this one is so sneaky, it gets almost everybody. It's called lifestyle inflation. This is that thing that happens when your spending magically rises to meet or even exceed your new higher income. And this chart just shows the problem perfectly. So your salary doubles from $30,000 to $60,000. Amazing, that feels like a massive win. But look at the spending. It nearly doubles too, going from $28,000 all the way up to $55,000. So you're earning way more, but you're still living paycheck to paycheck, just with nicer stuff. All right, let's talk about trap number 3. And oh boy, it is a big one. Taxes. Your salary is the most heavily and most immediately taxed kind of income out there. The government gets its piece before you even get a chance to touch the money. You see, it's all about the order of things. As a salary earner, you earn it, the tax man takes his cut, and then you get to decide what to do with the leftovers. But an asset owner, they earn money through a business, they spend or reinvest that money, and then they pay tax on the smaller amount that's left. It makes a world of difference. Okay, trap number 4 is what I like to call the silent killer of wealth: inflation. It's that slow, steady process where your money just buys less and less over time. And that annual raise you're so happy about, it might not be a raise at all. Let's just look at a really typical example. You get an 8% salary hike, you feel great, right? But what if in that same year, the cost of everything, gas, groceries, you name it, goes up by 6%? What's your actual progress?
That's it, a measly 2%. That's your real growth and buying power. You feel like you're getting ahead, but in reality, you're barely taking one step forward. It's like running in place, but just a little bit faster. And that brings us to the final trap, the salary ceiling. The truth is, there is an absolute limit to how much you can earn from a single job. Even if you're the CEO of a huge company, your income is capped by your role, your industry, and the simple fact that you can't work more than 24 hours a day. Businesses and investments, they have no ceiling. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the problem. If a salary isn't the path, then what is? Let's totally shift gears and talk about the solution. Because the real path to wealth isn't just about earning more money, it's about what you do with the money you have. This right here, this is the playbook. This is what actually builds wealth. It's not about how big your paycheck is, it's about your strategy. It's about consistently investing, even if it's just small amounts. It's about building and buying assets, things like real estate or stocks, that go up in value. It's about owning a piece of a business, not just being an employee. And maybe most importantly, it's about letting the magic of compounding do the heavy lifting for you over time. I absolutely love this quote because it completely flips the script on how you think about your job.
Your salary isn't the end goal. It's not the destination. It's the fuel for your wealth building engine. It's the startup capital you use to buy assets that are going to work for you.
So how do you actually do that? How do you turn that salary into fuel? Well, here's a simple 4-step blueprint to make your salary start working for you instead of you just working for it. Okay, step 1, you got to have the foundation. Cover your basic needs. Step 2 is your defense. Build up an emergency fund so that a flat tire doesn't wreck your whole financial life. And now for the fun part. Step 3 is where you go on offense. You invest aggressively. This is where your money starts making money. And finally, step 4 is about expansion. Start building other sources of income, whether it's a side hustle or more investments. And this right here reframes the entire reason we go to work. The end goal shouldn't just be to be comfortable today. The real goal is to use your salary as a tool to buy your freedom tomorrow. And all of this leads to one final, absolutely crucial shift in your mindset. It's the move from thinking like an earner to thinking like an owner. In this slide just sums it all up perfectly. The salary mindset, it's all about comfort, and it sees the job as the plan for life. The wealth mindset, it knows that true security and freedom come from ownership and from thinking about the long term. It's a completely different way of looking at the world. So, I'll leave you with this one big question to really think about. After everything we've talked about today, how do you see your salary? Is it the finish line, the final destination? Or is it the vehicle that's going to take you where you really want to go? And of course, just a quick and important reminder that this has all been for educational purposes. When it comes to making decisions about your own money, please always talk to a certified financial advisor. Thanks so much for tuning in.